The Royal Air Force Spitfires Rugby 7's team have travelled nearly 5,000 miles across the world to coach and play rugby in India as part of a Foreign and Commonwealth Office outreach programme.
The Spitfires have been making regular visits to India for 10 years, but this one, which happened before the coronavirus pandemic spread across the world and halted just about all sport, was a very special one.
We were phenomenally lucky. So the day we returned on the Friday, and then the UK went into lockdown the following Tuesday. So we were very, very lucky to get out there and to get back as well. And yes, lucky to go anyway, I think, just in general. It's such an amazing trip, and it offers so much that every time you go, it is a complete privilege.
Pretty full on, a completely different cultural experience. So you're getting some guys that have either never coached, never played 7's, and then we've taken them out to meet kids that have, one, never played rugby, or two, have just started out. And you can imagine India is quite a new to the rugby world, but it's developing pretty quickly. And thankfully, we've had the opportunity to get out there a few times now. This one, the one that we've made the documentary about in Bangalore, was incredible. It was awesome experience.
Apart from the tournament, the team spent the bulk of their time working with local children, introducing them to a sport that's in its infancy in India. But the enthusiasm and skills of the young players shone through.
Yeah, we really rely on in the Air Force our communication skills, and these young guys are coming up with new ideas. Some of them are designing little diagrams with sticks on the ground for the kids to understand, because, like I say, it's not English is their first language, but it's very pidgin English for what we're used to, especially when we go into the village. They've got their own kind of dialect. So yeah, communication is very difficult out there. But the guys did excellently. They all sort of adapted to it, and before you know it, by the end of the tour, you've got your way, you've got your way down, you can get it nailed down, and the kids understand you and have fun with it.
You go and see the kids, and you'll see some of the kids over from year to year, and you see them develop. Some of them are now getting jobs, getting education, working within the charity Calais Rugby that we help with, and it's really brilliant to see them progress. And there's some real success stories, particularly amongst the girls. A lot of the girls have gone on to play for India ladies, and get education, which they would never have really had the opportunity to get before.
From Bangalore, the team headed north to the foothills of the Himalayas and saw for themselves the level of rural poverty that millions of people endure, but also the hope and total generosity of their hosts.
They are so welcoming. Every year we go out, the village, they always put on a little ceremony. This one was particularly special because they had the opening of their community centre. But yeah, they will welcome you into their house. They'll meet their families. They'll take you in. They'll have cups of tea and stuff. And yeah, they're just such lovely people. And like I said, with very little, but they'll make the most of everything they've got, which is really nice.
And some of the people that we're working with as part of the charity, who are now managers, who've come up through, being kids, have been playing there. You hear some of their stories, and they're heartbreaking. A lot of them orphans or sleeping rough, and they've come up through this charity through Calais Rugby, and they're now getting employment, getting an education, and doing really well. And that's really humbling. And I think it really hits the guys quite hard. When they see what we have in the UK and what they have there, and just how happy they are, which is great. I love that every time we go.
On so many levels, the 10-day visit was a huge success that they hope to repeat again as soon as possible. John Knighton, Forces News.